Hello YouTube, Red Reptiles here with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be soaking Largo, who is right behind me. Largo is a larger female Sulcata tortoise, and for the last few weeks she's been out of her normal habitat. She's been feeling a little bit under the weather, but she has made a full recovery because she has been free roaming the backyard, grazing on grasses, isolated away from her main group, and just kind of taking time to herself. She's started to eat again, but that being said, she needs to drink water. So to make sure she gets hydrated, besides feeding her produces and the occasional melon, I always soak her every once in a while. So I'll be talking about things that you can do to soak your larger tortoises, and some of the benefits with soaking when it comes to younger animals and these adult tortoises as well. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and let's get started. Alright, so before I soak Largo, I'm going to explain to you a little bit about her background story. Largo is a larger female Sulcata tortoise. She came to me as a rescue a few months back from a friend of mine who found her in Key Largo, Florida. All the way down south here in Florida. She was, loose by herself, unsupervised, untaken care of. She may have escaped. Somebody let her go. We don't know exactly, but she ended up here in good hands. And then, as of recently, in the last few weeks, she went through a period where she stopped eating. And when Sulcata tortoises stop eating, that is not a good sign, because as you guys know, if you guys keep these, they are eating machines. So when they are not interested in food, or they're feeling a little bit lethargic and kind of excluding themselves from the rest of the group, that just, worried me big time. So I didn't see any signs of respiratory infection. I didn't see any signs of her having any diseases or any bacteria. So what I did is I took, into account, which was I started to soak her daily in direct sunlight. And I also separated her from her initial group. She went out of that habitat. And she has been free roaming the yard for the last month and a half or so. Obviously supervised, she stays in a specific area. Right now she has started exploring the entire yard, which is a great sign to me, because that means that she is, feeding back into her normal self. She has also began to eat produces once again, different hays and things. And the most important sign, which you guys may not think is important, but right next to her, that is feces, and feces is a very good sign when you have a tortoise that was acting like that, because a lot of time they can get impacted. A lot of times, they can't pass their own, stool. And being that she has done that naturally without any, medical intervention, is a great sign. So what we'll do in the next clip is we'll take Largo to the soaking station. I already have all the baby tortoises soaking like I do every day, but today is Largo's soaking day. So hopefully she'll drink a little bit. Maybe she'll also deposit some feces in the water, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, so here we got Largo inside the cement mixing tub. These tubs, for those that don't know, you can find them in Home Depot, Lowe's. I'm sure lots of your local hardware stores may have them depending on where you are. They're used for cement. Obviously here we don't use them for that. I have them for many functions. I use them to house my younger tortoises that I'm raising outside, which are these guys that are soaking right here. I also use them to soak larger tortoises because, they can hold water, they can handle a larger animal. And I also use those as hides. I cut them up a little bit, and they, they're a very good form of a hiding spot for some larger animals or smaller ones, depending on the function you use them for. But as you can see, Largo is soaking right now. She'll be in here for about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, depending on how she's doing, obviously, in the tub. You can see she's very alert. Her head is out of the water. She's not inside her shell, which is a very good sign. And some of the benefits for soaking your larger tortoises, it kind of goes the same for your younger ones as well. But they get to hydrate themselves, 1. 2, you get to monitor your animal. You can see how alert it is. You can see Largo is moving around, which is very, very key. Also, if they do decide to poop or pee in the water, you can monitor the different calcium deposits, the different bio, how the feces looks as well, because things like that are very vital when it comes to keeping your tortoises. And being that she's moving around is super important to me, because like I explained previously, she was very lethargic as of recent, and this just shows me that she's very aware and active as to what is going on in her surroundings. She could get out of this tub, but probably not, because I'll be here. I'll just put her back in, and we'll kind of go through this process as she sees fit. But you can see she's able to move around, which is not so important. You can kind of keep them in a smaller areas like that. They don't have to move around so much. But soaking your adult tortoises isn't something you have to do so often, because remember, they're getting sources of hydration through produce, different lettuces. I like to feed once a month, twice a month. I like to do watermelon, cantaloupe, or honeydew, or sometimes I give around 2 or 3 of those options just to kind of, variety it and change it up. But they also get some water through their, yellow squashes, green squashes, and of course, putting water in your habitat is very important as well, because these guys will drink water. For those that haven't seen one of my most recent videos, I posted a very short clip on one of my tortoises drinking water. And tortoises, for those that don't know, drink water through their nostrils. They don't drink traditionally through their mouth like other animals would. So they have the ability to close what is called a nasal flap. The nasal flap will close and they can kind of straw-like drink up and suck up the water through their nostrils. And instead of going into their lungs, it goes straight into their stomach, where they can obviously use it for hydrational needs and things like that. So we're gonna kind of cut the clip here. We're gonna see how Largo does. We'll give you a little progress update, and I'll show you guys some of the baby tortoises soaking. So right here are all the baby tortoises that are soaking. We got the 5 critically endangered radiated tortoises. We got Pop-Tart and Bagel Bite, the young Sulcata tortoises, which, as you can see, they have dirtied their water. So what I'll do is, once I finish showing you guys these guys, I'll show you guys how I change this water and why it's important to do so. But here we got Plato, the young Aldabra, and Aristotle, the larger one. So with that being said, as you can see, they have dirtied their water. So what I do is I go ahead and grab my hose. It's always on when I'm soaking. I like to kind of rinse it out or let the water go out first, because it is a black hose. The sun is out. The water can get kind of hot, and we don't want to overheat the tortoises, of course. So once the water is nice, colder temperature, what I'll do is I'll come over to the tub here, and bear with me because I'm going to be doing this with one hand, but I remove each tortoise individually. I kind of just put them on the side, and then what I'll do is I'll take the hose and I'll lightly spray them down, just so like that I can take out any feces that is on them. And then this tub, I'll kind of dump into the grass, give it a nice little rinse here to make sure that there's no extra little feces in the water. Dump that out once again. Take my hose again, fill it up. And once it's about, chin high for the tortoise, specific animal that I'm putting in there, I go ahead, grab the animals back once again, make sure that they're nice and secure, as you can see, and I put them back in their tub. Now, the reason why I like to change out the water, and why you have to change out the water when you see it spoiled like that, is because the purpose of soaking your animals is so that they can drink. So nobody wants to drink their feces, nobody wants to drink their pee, and of course it does them severe damage and harm if they are soaking in dirty, nasty water like that, and of course if they're going to drink it as well. So keeping the water fresh and clean is very important. I'll do this as much as I see fit during the time frame that I'm here soaking these baby tortoises. So if these guys are soaking for half an hour and they poop 10 times during that half an hour, I gotta change the water out 10 times. And I just kind of wanted to highlight that. It's very cool that they did that, so that I can show you guys during the video, because they don't always poop, but for the most part they will use the bathroom in their tub. And another thing that I like to do is like to take the hose, kind of spray them down every so often, so like that they're not dry. They can stay a little bit cooler, because they are in the direct sunlight. But the sunlight is super important, because as we know, sun provides UVB rays, and reptiles in general, tortoises specifically as well, since they are animals that are found outdoors, they really require UVB rays, so you can have that beautiful smooth shell growth, as you can see with Aristotle, with Plato as well, Pop-Tart and Bagel Bite, the radiated tortoises. UVB provides super nice shell structure, very nice growth. It prevents metabolic bone disease. It's one of the factors that you can do to help avoid metabolic bone disease, and of course pyramiding. All right, guys, so what I'm doing right now is I'm refilling the water for Largo. As you can see, she's kind of perching up here. Like I said, very key and very important that she is being active like that. So by her being active, by her understanding that the water level is rising, that shows me that she's very alert. And like I explained previously, keeping the water level to just around chin high is perfect for these animals, because we do not want them to drown. So by them just kind of soaking in this water, she'll get a drink, she'll poop, she'll pee, she'll do her thing. And it allows me to kind of keep a close eye and observe her and see how she's doing. So you guys notice there were some bubbles coming out there, so that means that there is some bowel movement, which is very important as well. So I want to talk a little bit about what you can do to soak your adult tortoises. Like I've said, and I'm sure you guys know as well, soaking larger tortoises doesn't need to be done as often as we think, but every once in a while, if you want to go ahead and soak 1 or 2 whenever you feel like it, you can. It doesn't harm them. It does them some well, because they're going to be hydrating, they're going to be pooping. You get to monitor your animal, keep a close eye on it. But I'm usually just doing this with her, because like I explained, she was a little bit lethargic, not eating. So I wanted to see if maybe I can force out a little bit of poop, see how she was doing, see if she was a little bit underhydrated, and you know, it all worked out well. She's doing a lot better. But some things that you can do to soak is you can get a cement tub like this, nice and large, and right on time and right on camera you can see that is all calcium deposits. Tortoises obviously, you know, poop out some of their calcium every time they poop, and you can see it's a little bit liquidy because it's in water, but that's just very important. So very happy that I caught that on camera. What I'll do is once this clip is done, I'll just change it out. So that means that she is digesting perfectly, she is pooping, so that means that she's a very healthy and happy tortoise. So real quickly, I just want to finish off here. You can soak them in tubs like this, you can soak them in kiddie pools, any tub that they fit in, obviously that they are not going to be fully submerged underwater is perfect. But that was very cool in my opinion, and very important that I caught that on camera, because this animal just shows to me that she is, you know, healthy and back on track. All right, so to kind of make a clear point with what I'm trying to explain in this video is that soaking your adult tortoises isn't necessary, but it is beneficial whenever you can do so. Like I explained, you can soak them in cement mixing tubs, any tub that they will fit in. Obviously that the water isn't so deep so that they don't drown. And of course, the benefits of soaking any tortoise, or most animals in general, specifically reptiles, is the fact that they can drink water, 1. 2, you can observe your animal closely. You can see if it's pooping, peeing, making sure that its digestive system is doing a-okay. And also key note is if your tortoise does not poop in the water, that does not mean the animal is unhealthy. Just sometimes, you know, their digestive tract is so long that they might not be at the point where they need to release any feces in the water or feces in general. Also, like I was explaining, soaking your adult tortoises is something that you can do every once in a while. The majority of time they're gonna get their water through their foods that they're eating, so any produces, any melons, you know, obviously you want to have clean fresh water in their habitat as much as possible. So I like to do my waters every day. I change it out just so I can make sure they have clean fresh water to drink from. And of course, when you soak your animal, just keep a close eye on it, make sure it doesn't flip, make sure that, you know, it's in direct sunlight, because the sun is beneficial for all animals, but tortoises in general. So hopefully you guys kind of have an understanding, a general idea of what you can do to soak your adult tortoises. So we are completely done soaking Largo, and she is doing awesome. So really what I wanted to see when soaking her was that she pooped, that she peed, and she did exactly that. Like I explained, she didn't drink water, but that's okay because she's getting water through her food that she eats as well. Of course, she eats lots of grass. Grass holds some water in it, and of course during the morning times when she does graze a little bit, she'll get some of the morning dew as well. So as you can see, she's doing awesome. She's a very nice colored shell for a female, and she's just bounced back completely, and I'm very happy that I'm able to you know, have her here with me. And like I said, she came to me as a rescue, and she's still here, so I'm doing my best to keep a close eye on her to make sure she's doing 100% before we reintroduce her back into her habitat. And same goes for all these guys. These guys are doing awesome. They soak every day, so they're, for the most part, they're pretty much used to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, subscribe, rate, comment, like, and of course, if you guys want to see more content, check me out on TikTok and on Instagram at Ready Reptiles. So as always, thank you so much for all your support, and see you, my fellow herpers.